I've been bringing on some amazing guests, and today is no exception. So I want to introduce to you guys, bring up the split screen if you would, please. I want to introduce to you guys Miss Laura Cole from Inspirational Outcomes. Just a really cool lady. When it comes to this show, the show's name is Live Your Mission, Love Your Life. And so I've been finding entrepreneurs and speakers who have a mission and just kind of a drive in life that aligns with the mission of the show, because, hey, that's what I'm trying to promote, right? When you find your mission in life, when you find your passion, when you're tapped into that, it gives you an energy that you just simply won't have if you're not connected to that. And so that's a message for me that I've been speaking forever. Here I am with a guest who has a conversation that she's going to be sharing with you guys today that is so close to my mission of my show that I can't say the talk correctly.
Living a
vision-driven life.
Yes.
I've got it. It only took me like 20 times of saying that in my head before I didn't mess it up. So Laura, just give the people tuning in a little quick introduction to who you are, what you're up to, and let's launch into what you got to share today.
Okay, well, I'm a transformational life coach. I have been practicing New Thought principles, studying them for years. I'm actually getting my doctorate in spiritual studies. And once I learned how this worked, I always knew it, but I didn't know how to express it. And so when I was introduced to this doctorate program, I finally got it. And it is my calling to spread the message to as many people as I can with what we're going to talk today about developing your vision. And it's really co-creating your life with those unseen forces that are out there, because there's an answer to every question, and we get these intuitive pulls and people won't trust them and follow them. So I'm here to raise people's self-esteem so they believe they can do it, first of all, help them develop that vision bigger than they ever thought possible, because I tell people anything is possible because I've seen it in all areas of the life. And so
I know you've got some good information to share. You sent me some kind of bullet points so we can put it up on the screen for folks so they can track along with us. So let's jump in, and I'll say give Laura the screen, just drop me down to the bottom over there, and Laura, take it away, your first point.
Well, first of all, what I want to encourage you to do is when you develop your vision, it's great to do it 3 years out where you would love to be in 3 years, because it's easier for our mind to wrap around having it further off in the future. Now, what you'll find when you use these techniques that I teach, it happens much more rapidly when you have faith and belief that it's coming. When you develop your mission, you always, when you write your statement, you do it as I am, because there's that faith and belief. You put that out there into the universe that it is coming. So I am so thankful and grateful now that. Now, the reason that you do grateful is because gratitude is on the same energetic vibration as abundance. And so when we can be grateful for what we have and be grateful that our vision has already come true, then it comes to us much quicker. Now, when you're writing your vision, it's very important to use all 5 senses. You want to be able to, when you are thinking about it, write it, you want to feel like it's already happened, that you are in that moment. I also emphasize that you cover 4 different quadrants: relationships, health, your vocation, and then time and money freedom. Now that you have all this money coming in from what you love to do with your job every day, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to donate to a charity? Are you going to go on a trip? Are you going to get a degree? What is that? And the reason I don't just emphasize one or the other is because they're all incorporated. If you're not healthy, then you're not going to be able to work effectively. If you're unhappy in a relationship, then you're going to focus on that and not focus what you would love to manifest and bring into your life. So writing your vision statement, write down anything that you have wanted to do, even if you thought it was not possible. Because like I said, there's an answer to every question. The key is asking the universe, what is the next step I can take to get me closer to my dream? And when the thoughts come, whether it's through a conversation, music on the radio, you see a billboard sign. It can come from a million different places. In your head, maybe you're meditating and sitting in silence, and all of a sudden an idea pops up out of nowhere. That's your intuition. At that point, you have to take action. You trust your gut, you know it to be true, and you follow through. You make that decision, because once you make that decision, that's telling the universe, I mean business. I'm doing something about it. And where we place our attention, that is what becomes manifest into our lives. Maybe you've heard of law of attraction. So if we focus on, I have bills, I can't pay my bills, but I want to pay my bills, the universe is going to say, here, have more bills. This is what you're focusing on. If you say, I want to travel to Australia, New Zealand, and have that funded through the presentations I do there, and you say that, place your attention over and over, then
I've got to stop saying anything about bills.
Yes. And a key to credit cards, instead of saying credit card bills, a more positive vibration would be credit card investments, because everything that you've charged on that credit card is for your benefit, whether it's food or a nice piece of clothing, whatever it is, it has brought something into your life. So to be gratitude that you actually have these credit card investments, because somebody trusted you enough to let them use their money. And now they just happen to be benefiting from that. You're not paying it back yet. But having gratitude even in that, and knowing that it's going away. Having faith and trust. That's the
having gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude about things that you wouldn't normally think to be grateful for. What a great point. You get that credit card bill. Well, it means that you were credit worthy and you have access to funds that a lot of people don't have access to. There's always something to be grateful for. That it's easy to get in that mode of negativity, and that's such an excellent point. I love that point. So I don't know if you were still going on point one or if you're ready to go on to point two, but that was a great point. That alone was take it to the bank, and good stuff.
Excellent. The next thing I encourage people to do when these intuitive thoughts come up.
Okay, point two.
That you have to clear that portal. You have to clear the negativity that's going on in your mind, because as long as you are obsessing about your credit card investments or obsessing about a relationship or I'm not good enough, then it's blocking those positive, higher vibrational ideas from coming into you. So there's several ways that you can do this. And one of the biggest blockages that we have is fear. Fear, doubt, and worry constantly. Oh my gosh, what if could happen, right? So what I encourage people to do is to love their fear, to embrace it, to wrap their arms around it. There's a story about a little girl that runs up to her mom and said, he's chasing me. And the mom tells her, stop running. And once we stop running from what scares us or from what worries us and embrace it, because when you have fear, that means you're on your green growing edge. Something just happened really loud.
Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened there with the crazy noise in the background. This is going to be a great overall talk. I know it, because
it already is
so much crazy madness. It's phenomenal stuff. I was just super excited about what you were talking about, and I have a whole video from one of our previous talks on fear just itself. And I'm like, go find this video and post the link. I want to share that, because this is such a good piece of material, right, that you're talking about. So anyway, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no worries. Take it as it comes.
Yes.
Right? So this is a perfect example of clearing our portal when things come up that are not unaccepted, that are not what we had planned. Unexpected is the word I was looking for. So We can either let ourselves go into fear and worry, oh my gosh, this isn't working, what do I do? Or go into acceptance and just loving what is happening. It's perfectly fine. I still get to share what I love. Joe is learning something new. He's got a new set. I get to be a part of that, and just taking a deep breath into relaxation. You notice your thoughts. So many people don't notice what's going on in their head, but the key is to notice. I call notice what you're noticing. And when you notice fear, doubt, and worry, when you notice negativity about yourself or concern about a relationship, whatever that is that comes into your life, you decide to flip that switch. You decide how you are going to look at it. Are you going to go into being worried about your investments? Or are you going to go into gratitude because you're investment worthy? And this is also where affirmations come in. I am so thankful and grateful I will always be financially okay is one that I use that actually have a really good $10,000 story. If we have time, I'll tell that how I manifested.
Absolutely.
But in relation to fear, like I said, you want to wrap your arms around it, because knowing this is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity to do something new, and you have to step into that. You have to take the next step. Maybe it's building a website. Don't become overwhelmed. You do one thing at a time. People can stop themselves in the track because they just look at the end result, the big picture. Yes, you know it's there, but you have to back up. Somebody that developed their own website, what would they do? First, they would get a domain name. Maybe they would have to decide the name of their company, whatever it is. It's one little baby step at a time, because baby steps will get us all the way up Mount Everest. But it's not allowing your fear, not allowing your overwhelm to get in the way of what you would love. Does that make sense to you, Joe?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff. I didn't want to interrupt at all. Well, I've already provided enough interruptions for the day.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. We have a lot of people hopping in and on the comment feed. So I know we've had a lot of people tuning in. So I know you had a good third point that you wanted to drive home this talk with. So I'm going to throw that up on the screen and take it away.
These are the topics that I dive into so often. Develop that vision. Know that anything is possible. Tap into your intuition and trust it, those unseen forces, the gifts that are giving you, that you will be given. You ask the universe, what can I do to get to this next step? When the fear and worry pops up, you embrace it, you love it, and you always go into gratitude no matter where you are, because there's a lesson in every situation. Sometimes the lessons don't feel so good, and the hardest lessons that we've experienced, maybe death, a diagnosis, that's where we actually learn the most. So even in those moments of not feeling great, of feeling disrupted in your life, you can be grateful, saying, thank you, I know an amazing lesson is coming here, even though I haven't experienced what that is yet.
Absolutely. I threw up a link in the comment feed for folks. I have there's a quote from a very off-the-wall kind of movie from Will Smith called After Earth. And what I was watching, I'm a fan of Will Smith. I like his, just his work ethic and philosophy in life. And he talks a lot about this as well, the fear kind of a thing. And in this movie, there was a creature that hunted, his crew and all this sort of thing, but it hunted them based on smelling fear. It could detect the hormones and that sort of thing. And so this creature would do things that caused more fear. It couldn't see, it had no eyes, but it had this insanely acute sense of smell, and it would smell fear. So it actually did things to cause more fear. So the whole movie was kind of a metaphor, right? And he was able to kill this creature at some point in the past, and everybody was just kind of so amazed because this thing was such an incredible tracker. It was so smart. And they asked him how he overcame it. And he said that, he let go of his fear. He overcame fear. And he gives a speech, and I modified it just slightly to alter some of the words, because I try to avoid not words or negative like couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't. So this quote became, fear is a lie. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It causes us to believe things that as of yet have not happened and may in fact never happen. And that to me is near insanity.
Mhm.
Now, let me be clear. Danger is real,
Yes.
but fear is a choice.
Yes.
And that is such a powerful, powerful statement. It's really kind of a mind-blowing thing when you consider that fear, the only place that fear can exist is when we think of negative future outcomes.
Mhm.
They haven't happened yet,
Right.
but we're dwelling on them and we're creating them as a reality in our brain of future events. I'm like that. It's an eye-opening thing to me. It really was a kind of a light bulb changing moment in my life where I'm like, if you're going to put your brain to work on something, why make it negative? I mean, like, I want to picture a future outcome where I kick tail and take names and people love me and I make loads of money. Like, if I'm going to think about something, it might as well be awesome,
Exactly. Here's another one you can use for fear. It's false evidence appearing real.
Yes, I love that one. False evidence appearing real. I love it.
And as my grandma said, one of the wisest people I know, 98% of what I worried about never even happened.
Yes.
Which is so true.
Yes, yeah. We just get our and here's the tough part. I've studied. My background was in psychology, and I've spent a lot of time just studying how the brain works because it's fascinating to me. But it's the what we focus on expands, right? That's kind of the proverb. But really, the way the brain works, the science behind that is 100% true. As we allot more neurons to thinking on something, the more we think on something, the more the brain says, in essence, wow, that's important. So in other words, the whole practice makes perfect, all that sort of thing. The brain is just allotting more horsepower, so to speak, brain power to accomplishing the task. And so if we are focusing on negative future outcomes, the brain doesn't care about what we're giving it to think on. It just processes, right? Yeah. And so when we give it those future events that are negative, our brain becomes better at seeing those possibilities, those outcomes.
Yes.
And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We are literally training ourselves to fail.
Exactly. Your brain is incredibly efficient. There's so much stimulation that comes in, it has to decide what it's going to let filter in or filter out. And you're exactly right. That's why I talk about what you place your attention on. You allow your intuition to hear what that is. And so you know the next step to take in your life to get to what you would love.
Absolutely. Well, we've crammed so much information into such a short period of time and had like crazy distractions on top of it. I really, really want people to be able to spend some time with you and learn more of this material. To me, this is like one of the most vital steps in being successful. It is one of the most powerful things that you can do to lead your life towards success and just happiness in general. The title of the show is Live Your Mission, Love Your Life, right? I have my bad days, don't get me wrong, right? Everybody does. But generally speaking, I wake up happy and smiling, and I spend that way all day. I smile, I'm a ham, all this stuff. I'm loving my life because I'm living my mission. And so I want people to be able to have that kind of same experience. And I love the information you shared. So I'm going to put you on the spot here and say, can we give the folks who are watching the show, can we give them some time with you, just at least to start working on this? Do you have something that we could offer them to
for people
get on board
that come to my workshops? Take the time to listen and really their heart feels connected to what I have to say. That's the key. They have to really feel drawn to this. I offer what I call a strategy session in order to develop your vision and take that deeper to understand that anything is possible. It's an hour basically of coaching with me where we just focus on your vision, and we also bring up paradigms that could be blocking you, those thought patterns that we've had given to us from our culture, our environment, our family, that are blocking us, telling us that you can't. But when I say anything is possible, I mean that. So it's an hour with me. We'll dive very deep into
the whole hour
vision.
For free.
Yes, the whole hour for free. And by the time you get off that call, there will be an action step, I can guarantee you, of the next thing that you can do to get closer to your dream.
That's awesome. that it really is fantastic. That's an hour of time. It is. I mean, first of all, it's to me that when your time is the most valuable asset you have to give. So I'm going to promote this that you were generously offering your time for this. An hour too is quite a significant amount of time, and we're definitely going to send some folks your way. I'm going to spend an hour with you.
Excellent. I guarantee I can get you on your way.
All right, I love it. I want to be more on my way.
I'll get you there faster. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So I really thank you for being on today. Shared some great information. I'm going to get this live feed downloaded. I'm going to edit out some of the craziness that we had.
Excellent.
And I will upload that to YouTube later today. And then I will share that link back with you and the folks that have been watching here. And I'm going to go through and find like my favorite comment, a little snippet, something that I can turn into like a little 1-minute piece or something.
Okay.
And I'll also shoot that to you so that we can share it with our friends and everybody who was on today. So
great. Thank you.
Really appreciate you being on, and thank you for giving me your most valuable asset, your time to spend with me today. And onward and upward for all those who have tuned in. And we'll be back again next Tuesday at 10 a.m. with another awesome guest to share some insights, helping us all get to closer living our mission and loving our life.
That's right.
And be sure to check out the liveyourmissionloveyourlife.com website. And got some really cool shirts and just inspirational stuff on the page to keep you reminded and keep you on track with living your mission. So I'll see you guys again next week, and we're out.